So next I want to cover the first half of the bath section. Because the zippers and the NMG run are, until this point, basically the same, aside from one rewind trick and a few first-person glitches. But the NMG rod there doesn't need an extra explanation. So for this trick, you want to do a quite precise, timing-wise precise wall run here on this thing to get to the upper ledge. Like this. So there are some things you should pay attention to. Aside from the fact that there are normally enemies here, but I'll cover that in a second. So there are three outcomes for this basically. First possible outcome, you wall run too early. Then this happens, you get a horizontal wall run. Have to go back, wait until the prince dries, because in your wet state, let me show that real quick. In your wet state, you can't do wall runs. So if that happened, you either rewind until like here and try again, or if you're out of sand, you go back, wait a little, and then try again. Second of all, you can be too late. There are two possibilities: either you drink or you are waterlogged like this. That means that you did the wall run too late. Also important is the camera angle. So what I do here is I do a little wall run and then press the reset camera button so the camera is straight. Because if the camera is not straight, if it's looking like this, you will always, because you're facing towards the wall, you'll always do a horizontal wall run. So this, yeah, the timing here is a little finicky, but you'll get used to it. A little cue is this, that little stair there. That's where to start the wall run, around there. So as I mentioned, there normally are enemies here. There's some special movement. I do first of all a wall run here, because one of the women will quite likely block the stair. Not Farah, but one of the enemies here will block the stairs, and then you want to do this wall run to get a straight camera while the camera's kind of behind the wall. From my experience, this lowers the chance of an enemy spawning. So go here, little wall run, reset camera, then you walk straight forward and do the trick. Then there's a slow-mo function. With that, you have a slightly bigger window of doing the wall run. And if your feet are above that dirty spot in the wall, then you jump off, and if possible stop the slow-mo, just saves a bit of time. There we go. There's one more thing to this area. You can kind of modify this skip by either letting or not letting Farah into the crack. So if you decide to let Farah into the crack, you do that first, move that little thing, and then you do the NMG skip. This loses 30 seconds, but has no chances of game overing. Or you can not let Farah into the crack. In that case, you do the skip instantly, but if you do that, you have to wait here until Farah is kind of underneath you. So normally it'll take a few seconds for her to climb up the waterfall, and when she stands still under you, then you can continue. That saves 30 seconds, but has quite some chance of game overing and even crashing afterwards. So as a beginner, I don't advise to do that, because 30 seconds are not that much, and game overing for no seeming reason can be quite frustrating. So until you reach, I don't know, I would say a 1 hour 40 final time, I personally wouldn't do it. I would just let Farah into the crack, then do the skip. You don't have to wait here in any way, you can just continue. One thing, if you decide to not let Farah into the crack, you are not allowed to rewind in the upper part of the baths. because if you do so, you will game over. In addition, if you don't let Farah onto the crack, and you get the second sword, you should kill yourself afterwards to make sure Farah's properly loaded, because there's a slight chance that she's in a kind of twisted neck state where she just stands and her neck is twisted and she won't follow you into the next area. So this little game over makes sure she's loaded properly, and you can just continue.